Hello, my name is Tadghighi, and my mother, Gena Skuse, used to enter Bristol and Bloom every year without telling my father. He had an inkling she used to do it, but it was an unspoken word between them, and they would both be busy getting the garden ready. And when Mum would win, she would tell Dad, "I've had the letter," and always say it must have been Bristol and Bloom who entered us, but in fact it was herself. So Dad went along with the story for many years. And in June this year, Mum passed away, and I contacted Bristol and Bloom to see if Mum had entered Bristol and Bloom, and they said no. And they said, what would I like to do? And I left it in Monica White's hands at Bristol and Bloom, and she said she would enter Mum. And 2 Saturdays ago, my father received the letter to say my mum had won gold in largest garden for Bristol and Bloom. My mother loved her garden. When they moved here, the garden was empty. It was a large garden, but it was empty. So my mother and my father decided that would be their new hobby, and it carried on for many, many years, and the garden got fuller and larger, and it's a garden for all seasons. So once summer's finished, the autumn comes through, and even through winter there's always a garden here. My mum never had a favourite spot in her garden because she loved all of it, and she never had a favourite flower. Any flower was her favourite. And they have a little table and 2 chairs where they would sit and have coffee, but she didn't never stay there for long because she was always ironing the edges up and get the scissors out and pull a weed out, or there was always a neighbour or visitors walking by and they would come and admire the garden, which she loved. So she would always have a little chat, and so they were very well known in the area and beyond. They'd have many visitors from abroad come. They had a walking society that would come through, and there wasn't one piece of the garden she didn't love, and she took great pride in entering Bristol and Bloom. It was a secret, and where they live is called Sanctuary Gardens, and she always said it was her sanctuary.